All right, Bills Mafia, we are live. Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to a special Monday night edition of Believers Talk. Normally, this would be my post game edition of Believers Talk, but due to the game on Thanksgiving Day, obviously, we already did the post game. So, in this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, I'm going to preview the game between the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens on Thursday. So, we'll get into that a little bit more at that time. But we can talk about a little bit here as well. And also going to talk about the remaining Buffalo Bills schedule. What are the chances the Buffalo Bills do run away with this AFC East title? Remember, this is the first time since 2010 that the Patriots have a one-game lead or less going into the final month of December. So this is a big time, right? You see the New England Patriots kind of declining a little bit. Now, listen, they're still the kings of the AFC East until someone dethrones them, right? So we can't say anything bad about that. But at the same time, anything is possible. We know. Hey, Braden, how you doing? Welcome to Believers Talk. Glad you can join me. And again, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to Believers Talk, please subscribe to Believers Talk. Really helps out the channel. Hit that thumbs up button. If you're joining the channel, hit that thumbs up button. Hey, King Cam, it's my first time to be excited to see it. And I'm glad that you're excited to watch the channel. I always enjoy you being in here. I'm glad you're off work tonight to join us for this live stream. And again, this is more going to be a Q&A session. We're going to talk about the Buffalo Bills, their chances at making the playoffs, their chances of winning the AFC East, as I left my notes on the table. So let me grab those real quick. Have some notes, some things that I do want to discuss with you about the Buffalo Bills and their more recent games and things that we have to look forward to. As my thumbnail says, possibly the best is yet to come for this Buffalo Bills team. You're talking about a team that hasn't seen Dable up in the booth for more than a month right now, right? I mean, there's still plenty of things to come for this Buffalo Bills team. And I'm excited. I hope you're excited too. As I clicked off some things here on my phone. Just want to make sure that everyone is able to watch and listen again, guys. If you're not subscribed to Believers Talk, hit that subscribe button. If you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. Follow BILL-IEVers as well. Plenty of good stuff going on right now, including, if you haven't heard already, a new contest going on with Stampede and Believers Talk to thank you guys, all of you, for getting me to that 1K subscriber mark. We are giving away this Andre Reed autographed jersey. Okay, so you could sign up multiple different ways. Make sure you go to BewareTheStampede.com. Gives you all the ways to enter and the rules and all that kind of good stuff. So make sure you do that as well. Looking forward to giving that away. That will be given away at halftime of the Patriots game. Again, guys, we do live play-by-play reaction every single Buffalo Bills game. That includes this Sunday against the Baltimore Ravens. Join me either here on YouTube or over on Sportscaster as we give you live play-by-play reaction to every single snap of the Buffalo Bills game. And that will also include the new flexed game, right? We knew we were playing the Steelers week 15. Now we know it's going to be Sunday night football. That game will be giving you live play reaction to that game as well. So hope you guys enjoy that. Now, if you're wondering about the contest and you're saying, well, if it's only for one prize, maybe I don't want to get involved, you're wrong. We're not just giving away one prize. That's going to be the main prize. That's going to be the top seller. That's going to be the grand prize, if you will. But we're also giving away other things. We're also giving away other things because I really want to thank a lot of you guys for making this possible. So we also have a Daryl Talley 8x10 autograph photo that we will be giving away as well. So we'll draw a few names out. Also probably get Jeremy from BewareTheStampede.com to throw in a couple koozies, maybe a couple stickers, things like that, all free. Just go ahead and sign up, log in, go to BewareTheStampede.com and use those ways to enter. Again, guys, thank you for joining me on this Monday night edition of Believers Talk. Was watching the game, so it was 14-7, Minnesota over Seattle. I picked Minnesota to beat Seattle less than 2 minutes to go in the first half. I'll try to keep this, I'm not sure how short I'll keep this. We'll see. But I plan to have you back sometime in the second half of that game. So if you're interested in watching that, we'll watch that together. I mean to ask you, what does flex mean? So at the beginning of the season, King Cam, the NFL comes out with their schedule, right? Beginning of the season, the Buffalo Bills were supposed to play the Pittsburgh Steelers at 1 o'clock. So up until just yesterday, Sunday afternoon, they changed the game. So up until yesterday, the Steelers were supposed to play the Bills at 1 o'clock. Week 15. But due to NFL rules now, what they can do is they can be flexible, where the term flex comes in, with their schedule. And on Sundays only, your Thursday primetime games and your Monday Night Football games can't be changed. But on Sundays, if they see a game like a Sunday night game, for example, Week 15 was going to be the San Diego / LA Chargers versus I don't know who, but that game was not going to be competitive, not have any playoff value going into that game. So they took a game that would have playoff value that they moved to that 8 o'clock slot. Most of the time, it's going to be a flexed 1 o'clock game. I can't even say that because they flexed the Niners game that was originally a 4 o'clock game as well. But they flexed that to the 8 o'clock game. They moved the Chargers game down. So that's what flex means. That means they could take a game earlier on Sunday, move it up to that Sunday night spot, so that way we can get a more competitive, more compelling, more playoff type atmosphere game instead of possibly watching a game between two teams that just don't matter, right? I mean, again, you talk about Monday Night Football. I think the Jets still have a Monday Night Football game this year. So when you get into those type of games where you know it's not going to matter, the ratings go down. So when the ratings go down, makes the NFL not happy, but we're not going to sit and watch meaningless football. So they take every chance they can to move a game into that Sunday night slot that does have meaning. And then when you look back at Thanksgiving, the Buffalo Bills Dallas Cowboys game was one of the most watched regular season football games in over 25 years. And you take a look at that and you think about that. Obviously, that means Bills Mafia showed up for that game and watched in numbers because Dallas plays every single year. But Buffalo has not played since 1994. So they take a look at that, and I think the NFL saw that and said, hey, let's get these Buffalo Bills some more primetime games. They saw a spot to do it, and they did it. So that's what flex schedule means. Hope I answered that question for you. Jack Patrick enters. Collinsworth and crew better do their homework and find out who we are. I entered that with Stampede. I hope I win. I hope you win too, Jack Patrick. I'm not sure what shipping to Hawaii would be like, but hey, I wish you all the best of luck. So let's talk about the Buffalo Bills, and let's talk about the remaining schedule. Obviously, on my thumbnail, I put out the remaining schedule. Obviously, this week we have the Baltimore Ravens. A lot of people don't give us a chance to win that game. The Baltimore Ravens started in Vegas as a 6.5 point favorite. That number's already down to 5.5 after 2 days or whatever it would be a day. So obviously the bettors are betting big on the Buffalo Bills. So do they know something? Are they ready to say that the Bills are here and that the Bills are going to give the Baltimore Ravens a tough test? Because guys, in the last 3 games, okay, I know like we can look at season stats all we want, but I broke it down into the last 3 games and I went and took a look at some of the key stats of an NFL game. And so in the last 3 games, the Bills are 3rd in yards per game. That's huge. With over 400 yards a game, we're 3rd in yards per game with 401.3 yards per game in the last 3 games. That includes the game against the Dolphins, the Denver Broncos, the 4th best defense in the league at the time, and the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Hey Scott, how you doing? Welcome to BILL-ievers Talk. Jack Patrick. Why do you have a blue wrench next to your name? That's because he's a moderator, Jack. I can actually do that to you too. Moderators help me see like if someone's trolling the website or trolling the live stream, or if someone is writing profanities in there, things like that, then I rely on you guys, my moderators, to hide it for me or to put up to review for me, so that way I don't, if I'm not watching the chat, if I'm watching the game, for example, when I do live play, then you guys can take a look at that and kind of not let that show in the chat room. Because again, we want positivity here. I know that other fans from other teams are going to come in here and try to troll, and that's okay. But I don't want to see any F-bombs. I don't want to see any profanity used towards anybody else, things like that. And that's where you moderators come in here, so I appreciate that. You see it next to you now. Jack Young King comes in. Welcome to BILL-ievers Talk. Glad you're here. I'm very confident in our Buffalo Bills winning the next 4 games and leading the AFC. We got to continue growing on offense and defense, being fundamentally sound. Now I have one. Who did that? I did that. I have the power. Ha 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 ha. I have the power to make a moderator or not. Again, if you're a regular in the channel, then you ask your receive. So Scott Blakely. Yeah, if you're a regular in the channel, Jack Patrick, you're always a regular, always in here, and I think that I could trust you guys to clean up the chat, right? And again, if some other teams' fans are in here giving us a hard time, if they're not cussing, I just don't care. Let's have a good time with them, right? But if they are throwing profanities out there, I would appreciate you guys help me out. Helps me out, makes everyone have a better time when they're here on BILL-ievers Talk. So I went through Buffalo Fanatics. How you doing? Glad to see you in here. Not sure, is this Kingpin or is this Rico? I would love to know that. But talking about the last 3 games for the Buffalo Bills, right? The last 3 games, like I said, the offense has provided over 400 yards of offense per game, 401.3, and that includes the game against the Cowboys where we didn't get over 400 yards, right? So obviously the game against the Denver Broncos, the fourth best defense at that time, and the Miami Dolphins really showed something. Got over 450 yards against the Miami Dolphins as well. Now we are third. The 2 teams ahead of us are the Dallas Cowboys, the team we just beat, currently first in the last 3 games, getting over 418.7 yards a game. Now, a lot of those yards against the Buffalo Bills were in junk time, right? We played that prevent defense, allowed that second touchdown. Not happy about that at all. But it happens, right? It happens, and so we move on from that. But a lot of the Cowboys' yards were in junk time. In fact, if you look at Dak Prescott's QB numbers, they look pretty good for that game. But again, most of that was after we were already ahead late in the game, so we were okay allowing prevent defense. Now, I know a lot of us, including myself, we do not like the prevent defense at any point in the game. Teams like New England, teams like Baltimore, they have a fast-paced offense. Remember, they scored that touchdown. Dallas scored that touchdown, I believe it was in 68 seconds, that drive to score. And that left 2 or 3 minutes on the clock, and they were still down by only 2 scores at that point. And if you watch that Atlanta game, Atlanta versus New Orleans, you saw the Atlanta Falcons almost recovered 2 onside kicks in a row. So obviously things can happen, strange things can happen in the NFL, and we don't want to leave that up to chance. What we want to do is we want to make sure that a team's out of it before we go into that prevent defense. We would love to be able to actually hold on to a ball for 5, 6, 7 minutes when we have a lead. So that way the team, especially this weekend against Baltimore, especially when we have the lead, don't let their offense, an explosive offense like the Ravens, onto the field. But again, guys, thanks. Joe Alpha comes in. Thanks a lot. Josh Allen looks so comfortable running the no-huddle offense. He's doing a lot better, right? Everyone's showing that Dallas game where he just stood still. That pass to Cole Beasley up the middle where he sat there, and then all of a sudden he just stands still for like a second. And then he just guns it to Cole Beasley. And that speaks to his confidence in our offensive line. That speaks to his confidence, his growing confidence in this wide receiving core to get open. And that also speaks to the confidence in himself to make the throws, right? Because what's one thing that a lot of people have been saying over the past few weeks that have been true is that Josh Allen has had a hard time throwing people open, right? Throwing his wide receivers open in open field. Well, we saw Cole Beasley catch a couple balls and able to break some runs after the catch. We saw, I believe it was McKenzie or Foster make a couple catches and gain some yards after the catch. The yak yards in the game against the Dallas Cowboys, and even if you go back to the Denver Broncos, it was huge, right? The Denver Broncos game, I think Allen completed 15 passes to 7 different wide receivers. No one other than, I think, John Brown and Cole Beasley had multiple receptions in that game. You look at the game Thursday, same type of thing. You saw multiple wide receivers beating the Dallas Cowboys secondary, and that's always a good sign. So I'm really happy to see that Josh Allen looking a little bit more comfortable. Scott, like this game more than any other, I would like long sustaining drives, established run big time, keep the Lamar monster off the field. And that might be the one way to beat them. Guys, I said in the collab that we did with all the other Bills channels on Friday, I'm going to look at college film from Lamar Jackson. I've already started doing that and see what colleges gave Lamar Jackson a hard time. What defenses were they running? Was there something special that they were doing? And last year too, look at last year. Even last year, rookie quarterback had a lot to learn. This year, it's been a lot more difficult. We did see it in San Fran. San Fran was able to get to him. Got a couple late hit penalties, so that's going to be key in the game on Sunday. I want to be aggressive against Lamar Jackson, but I don't want to see those free first downs. I don't want to see those roughing the passer penalties. Some of them were a little rough, but again, some of them were definitely there, and we need to be able to watch that, especially in today's NFL. You know that the refs have a flag at ready for those roughing the passer calls. We need to be ready to lay up, right? We want the Lamar Jackson to feel a couple pressures and get some QB hits against him, but we don't want to give them free first downs. That would be killer against an offense like this. So let's watch out for that. Gap integrity, absolutely, Jack Patrick. We need to keep gap integrity against a guy like Lamar Jackson. The hard thing is, last time Ingram played against us when he played with the Saints, remember, he had a huge day against us. Everyone running the ball for the Saints had a huge day against us. I believe that was in 2017. Obviously, this defense a lot different than that 2017 defense, right? But we have to remember that Ingram is a big weapon too. And you look at the tight ends also in Baltimore, great blocking tight ends, good receiving tight ends as well. Now, the good news there is the Buffalo Bills are one of the best teams against tight ends this season. So hopefully that negates like Andrews and some of the other tight ends over in Baltimore as well. If the Cowboys ran the ball more, I think the game would have been closer. Absolutely no, Mo. They did us a favor by not running Zeke Elliott. Now, again, if you look at Zeke's last couple of runs, it looked like the Bills defense was holding their own against him. But if you remember the first quarter, it gashed us pretty good. And all it takes is 1 or 2 runs to get a guy like Zeke going, and all of a sudden he's going to be hard to bring down every single time. Hey, Daniel, welcome to Believers Talk. Glad you could join me. This O-line protected him big. Yeah, they were really big against the Dallas Cowboys. I want to see us do the same thing against the Baltimore Ravens. The Cowboys played right into Buffalo's strength. The secondary, yeah, and that's something we have to watch. See, I'm going to talk about how good Hollywood Brown has been for Baltimore. Well, Hollywood Brown's going to be negated by Trey White unless Baltimore takes a page out of Dallas's playbook. You remember how Dallas moved Cooper around and moved others around Cooper, so White had to move off of Cooper, put Cooper on Wallace, other situations like that where Cooper was the better of the two. You know, it was a mismatch in the positive for the Dallas Cowboys, and that's why he had a big game against us. So hopefully we don't see that too much against Baltimore. Hopefully our defense can adjust to that. Hopefully Coach Leslie Frazier saw something in the film and said, no, we need to make sure that Trey White is covering Hollywood Brown pretty much the whole game, so that way we don't have to worry about him down the field. Going to the comments, you guys are going fast. I appreciate it. Always having a good time with you guys. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. Love to answer those questions. Raul Nenix comes in. Welcome. What's up, Joe? Not much, man. Just enjoying some time with Bills Mafia and just answering any questions. We will get more into some Buffalo Bills stats that I've looked up. And again, looking at the last 3 games for the Buffalo Bills, those are the 3 games where Dable's been in the booth. Those are the games where the Bills have really looked good. And the Bills keep getting better. We know we played tough competition against Denver. We played tough competition against Cowboys. Able to handle our business against both those teams, so we could probably do better still. Did you see the prevent defense last night against the Patriots? Bills need to stop that. Yeah, and you saw the Patriots, right? They came back. They were within 1 score that game. When I turned that game off, there was no chance the Patriots were coming back, right? I said, I'm good. Patriots are going to lose, and they lost. But man, it was close. And that last onside kick, really close. The Patriots team will not let you sit on a lead and think that you're comfortable. You can never think you're comfortable, never think you're safe. 28-3 in the Super Bowl. That was against the second best team supposedly in the NFL that season, or at least the best team in the NFC that season, and they still come back to win that game in overtime. So you can never say die, especially against a team like the Ravens and the Patriots. You need to be able to keep your foot on the gas. Hopefully that was a lesson learned against the Dallas Cowboys. Hopefully that's a lesson learned when they watched the New England game last night. D-line needs to go for containment rather than sacks. You might see a lot fewer sacks in this game, right? Just again, gap integrity. Make sure Lamar Jackson doesn't break the pocket. Maybe every once in a while have a linebacker spy on him. If you see a lot of sacks, either it's going to be because defensive tackles didn't get touched and they were unblocked to the quarterback, unevaded to the quarterback, or you're going to see maybe a corner blitz, linebacker blitz. That's the way we're going to get Lamar Jackson run straight at him. We've seen players like this in the past. I'm not Michael Vick, things like that. Now listen, I'm not saying that Lamar Jackson is not electrifying. He is. He's fun to watch. He's a great NFL talent. But there's going to be a way to stop him. Defenses are going to have to learn how to stop him. He's not going to be unstoppable. Again, we saw in the San Fran game, they held him pretty much in check, under 200 passing yards in that game. Now, he did have over 100 rushing yards in that game, so you have to wonder which way you want to go there. But that's something that we're going to have to figure out, and I think we have the defense to do it. Again, I think even though we're ranked 3rd in a lot of places, I think this Buffalo Bills defense is the best defense in the NFL, probably close with the San Francisco 49ers defense that we just saw. Give Lamar Jackson all they could handle in a 2017 win for the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. If that's a Super Bowl preview, it's going to be a great Super Bowl to watch, especially after we just got done watching a 13-3 Super Bowl that was completely embarrassing. Kyle comes in. Milano might be a top 5 coverage linebacker right now. I think he absolutely is. Milano is on fire, especially again these last 3 games. He's all over the place. He's been doing a great job. Thanks, Kyle. I do like this background as well. Again, waiting for my basement to be finished. When my basement's finished, hopefully by next season, then we'll be down there permanently, giving you the best Bills coverage, and I'll definitely let you guys check out my basement when it is finished. I'm looking forward to that. James Snee says, hit Lamar hard every time he runs the RPO hammer time. Again, the one thing I don't want, though, is those 15-yard penalties, and we saw that against San Fran. San Fran got some 15-yard penalties. Don't need to give this team any extra first downs, right? And again, guys, if you haven't already hit that like button, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to Believers Talk, I don't know what you're waiting for. Again, hit that subscribe button. Again, go to Bill-ievers right now, Believers Talk and Bill-ievers having a giveaway. We are giving away this Andre Reed signed, autographed Buffalo Bills jersey. So you can probably see the autograph right there. I don't know if I'm showing it good enough. And there is his name on the back of the jersey as well. So make sure you go to Bill-ievers for ways to enter, and you can enter every single day through Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, link in the description below. We can limit Lamar better than anyone. Stop? No. Limit? Yes. Yeah, and that's what it is. Some people have this delusion of stopping Lamar Jackson. I don't think that's possible. You're talking about 8-game winning streak for this Baltimore Ravens team. That's really impressive. I don't care who you are. But this team has lost. They lost to the Cleveland Browns, so it's not like they've lost to only the top echelon of teams where, they've lost to a team like the Cleveland Browns. Not Cleveland to beat us too, but we know that they're beatable. We just need to figure out the best way to do it. And guys, let's talk about how excited Bills Mafia would be if we beat the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday. Again, if you don't know where to watch the game on Sunday, you can watch it right here on Believers Talk. Just go ahead and again, subscribe to Believers Talk. We'll give you live play-by-play reaction right here. And also over on Sportscaster, link in the description below. #Sports Believers Talk teaming up to give you the best live play-by-play and reaction coverage to the Buffalo Bills games this season. And guys, it's going to be fun winding down this last month. We've talked about breaking the season into quarters, right? We've gone 3-1 in the first quarter, 3-1 in the second quarter, 3-1 in the third quarter. If we can go 3-1 in this quarter, that's going to be really impressive. It's going to let teams know they have something to watch out for. Because think about it. If we go 3-1 this quarter, that means we're either beating the Ravens or the Patriots. I hope we beat them both, but that means we're beating at least one or the other, right? And that's going to be a reason, cause for concern for a lot of teams in the NFL, especially when we get to playoff time. Havana SCP comes in. Ravens run defense is made of butter. Let's start there. Keep the ball off Lamar's feet and as much as possible. Yeah, you look at how San Fran was able to run against the Baltimore Ravens defense. Let's keep doing that. Let's run Motor. Let's run Frank Gore. Again, maybe even bring TJ Yeldon in. But the great thing is you put Foster and Roberts back there, run some jet sweeps with them, spread out this defense even more. It's going to be very confusing for this defense, as we've seen in the past with other defenses, and it's going to open up some lanes. It's going to open some lanes for some people, and I look forward to that. And again, as I said on Saturday, if you saw what happened on Thursday, that Andre Roberts to John Brown to Devin Singletary touchdown trick play, and they only practiced that a few weeks ago. They started that a few weeks ago. What's still in the bag of tricks? What's still in that bag of tricks? You know that Baltimore, New England, they're going to have better gap integrity. They're going to have better be where they need to be more than the Dallas Cowboys, where they're going to be more disciplined, right? And so what are we going to do to prevent that? We're talking about a Jim Harbaugh coach team, and we can say what we want about the Harbaughs. I'm not the biggest fan of them personally, but they are good coaches. And if you look at this matchup, Baltimore has great coaching staff, and that's why they are where they are, first place in the NFL. Young King comes in. Buffalo Bills is stopping Baltimore's. I hope so. I would love to see that. Browns ran down their throat as well, and that's why they won that game. Joe Nelson comes in. Outside pass rush. It's going to have to be consistent, and those defensive tackles will be left more isolated to crumble pocket and keep 3 to 5 outside wide, 9 rush, and in flats and second level to contain Lamar Jackson. I'm not sure about that, Joe. I think that a lot of teams have tried that already, right? I think we need to make Lamar Jackson make quick decisions. Now, he's going to be really good, and that's not maybe one play we send a blitz at him, make him make a quick decision. Next play he sees blitz. One thing the Buffalo Bills have been great at this season is showing blitz and then backing out. So he'll see blitz, read blitz, and then we back out, and then he has to make a decision with the ball he was not ready for. Again, make some mistakes. Hopefully, we got 26 people in here. 11 thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up button. Show me some support. I would really appreciate it. Thank you, Ronald Enix, for that. Yeah, absolutely. Hit that like button, guys. Really, again, helps out the channel. Lets other Bills fans know we are here, giving them, live Buffalo Bills content, hanging out with Bills Mafia. Looking forward to just talking more about this team. And what I want to talk about, like I said, is the last 3 games. In the last 3 games, the Bills are 3rd in yards per game with over 400 yards per game. And on defense, they're still a top 10 defense in yards allowed. Now, a little bit worse than what you would expect. They're 8th in the league in yards allowed in the last 3 games, 287.7. But again, a lot of those in junk time. I mean, look at the fourth quarter for the Dallas Cowboys, talking about over 125 yards in the fourth quarter when this game was well in hand. So, not saying that we didn't have this game in hand, not saying that we didn't go to prevent too early. I still believe we did. But at the same time, those inflate these numbers, make it look better than they are. But one thing I also wanted to let you guys know that the Buffalo Bills at home only allow 276.5 yards per game this season, compared to on the road where it's 323.7, a difference of over 47 yards a game. So here we are at home, big time to be at home for this Baltimore Ravens game. If you look at our remaining schedule, this is one of the games I'm glad to be home for. This is the one game on the schedule. If we only had one home game left, this would be the one that I would want to be at home for against the Baltimore Ravens. The Steelers with Hodges don't have the best offense right now. It's their defense carrying them, right? New England, same problem. Their defense is carrying them. We've seen Tom Brady struggle. Kyle, you're absolutely right, and that's why I'm going to show that, even though it asked me if I wanted to show that. I absolutely want to show that. The Baltimore Ravens are going to struggle in Buffalo. Let me actually, while we're on here, I was about to say we don't know what weather conditions are going to be out. We're at halftime of the Monday Night Football game with the Vikings up 17-10. Let me look up Buffalo weather for Sunday. I'm sure some of you are living in the area and know what already is. But I'm going to look it up just to see if we get some bad weather conditions like they had this past Sunday in Baltimore. Made it tough for the Baltimore Ravens to get their offense really going. Right now, it's looking like a pretty nice day on Sunday in Buffalo. 45 degrees with a 17-mile-per-hour wind, maybe a little windy, but it's looking pretty Sunday. Chance of clouds on Sunday, but hey, that's all right. We'll beat them in the best conditions and the worst conditions. That's what we have to do. That's what we are going to do. I believe this team can beat the Baltimore Ravens. I think we are that good. It's just going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of prepping, and that's another good thing going the Bills' way, right? I'll clean it up. That's all right. That's all right. I'm not worried about it at all. But you look at this Baltimore Ravens. We had 10 games. We had 10 days to watch them. We could watch them on Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers and see what they're good against, what they're not so good against. And if you give Leslie Frazier time to prep, you give Coach McDermott time to prep on that defense, I trust them to come up with a good defensive game plan to stop Lamar Jackson. Big day for Ed's athleticism to shine. Absolutely. You look at Ed Oliver, 4 sacks last 2 games. He can step up big. Like I said, this is only the beginning. Dable's only been in the booth for less than a month, and so we know that offense is continuing to do better. Again, over 400 yards last 3 games. Defense has room to improve. A lot of that in junk time, but we will get better. Bills are second in the last 3 games in opponents' points allowed. Now, again, we're second, and we're doing pretty good, only allowing 12.7 points per game in the last 3. But who's in first? The team we're going up against in the Baltimore Ravens, only allowing 10 points per game so far. So everything that we do well in, the Ravens do well in as well. And that's why these two teams have 2 of the best records in the league. You're talking about the Baltimore Ravens sitting there at 10-2 and the Buffalo Bills sitting there at 9-3. The reason why this is because we rank high in all of these stats. In fact, when you look at yards allowed, all 4 of the teams we play were above us as far as yards allowed per game in the last 3 games. Buffalo's at 8, and the other 3 teams are above us. You're talking about the Jets, you're talking about the Patriots, you're talking about the Steelers, and you're talking about, of course, Sunday against the Ravens. So that's something to really look out for. And the Bills are 7th currently in the last 3 games in points per game, averaging 27.7, a huge uplift than what we were looking at before when we were at less than 20 for most of the season. So 7th in the league. Now Baltimore is 2nd at 35.3. So again, everything we do well right now on paper, Baltimore does better. So that's something that we're going to continue to have to look at. But that's why they play the game, right? Again, the Buffalo Bills are a great team. We're going to be at home. Let's hope that let's not hope. Let's believe that we can win this game. Let me get some more comments. Joe Nelson, Baltimore Lions weaker in the middle, and bookend solid, getting pressure up the middle just pushes Lamar outside where he is best. The tackles are maybe the best tandem in the league. So what you're saying is when you keep him in the pocket, I would agree with that. And again, he is. And Greg from Cover One talked about this on Friday when we had our collab video. What we need to make sure we do is when Lamar breaks outside, when Lamar on a 3rd and 6 is able to break out and get 12 yards, we need to stop that to a 12-yard gain and not let it be a 25, 30-yard gain and move the ball into opponent or in our own field position, so that way they don't have a short field that way. We need to be able to have good tackling in this game. Again, Lamar's going to break loose for a couple in this one, but we need to be able to tackle him when those tackles are available. We need to have our safety step up. We need to have our corner step up. Remember that play on Thursday where Dak Prescott lowered his shoulder into Trey White and fell forward? We need Trey White to be able to step in there and take those hits, take those blows, maybe even make Lamar Jackson fall backwards a couple times as well. Get some of these comments. I hate to be a broken record, but Duke, I love to see them deploy a new weapon that has minimum film. So Scott Blakely, I'm not sure. Not sure if we're bringing Duke in for this one. I want to see Duke too, just see what he has at this point. But there's a reason why he's on the practice squad, whether we know it or not. And I think he's going to stay there for the rest of the season. Again, unless there's injuries that dictate otherwise. We saw Foster with the hamstring injury able to come back on Thursday. Talks about his guts, his courage, his love for the team, his love for the game. So I love to see that as well. Hauschka needs to step up and have a good game, says Joe Nelson. Yes, I completely agree with that as well. Hopefully we get a good game out of Stephen Hauschka, make all of his kicks. If we go into this game, I think in order to beat the Baltimore Ravens, it might come down to a kick or two, and we need to have Stephen Hauschka to have confidence in Stephen Hauschka make those kicks. Again, as I said Saturday, we don't need to have confidence in him. I know my eyes will probably be closed as he's kicking the ball, but we need to have Coach McDermott looking at Stephen. It'll be cloudy. It's going to be in the 40s. Going to have 17-mile-per-hour wind, so the wind might be a factor, but you still have to make those kicks, especially in big games like that. This could be the big difference, right? Kicks can be the difference in this game. And when you talk about a guy on the other side, Justin Tucker, just made a game-winning field goal this past Sunday against the 49ers. You know he's going to make them. You know he's going to make them from inside 50, guaranteed. So what we need to do is match that the best we can. And again, if we can score touchdowns for when they score field goals, that's the name of the game. It's a bend, don't break league. We've seen this defense, Buffalo Bills defense, make great goal line stands already this season. None better than that one against Cleveland, of course. And we need to see that again. The Ravens are going to move the ball. The Ravens are going to get some yards. The Ravens are going to score some points. But if we can hold them to field goals, limit their big drives, then we'll have a chance. And that's all we ask for with a guy like Josh Allen, who's playing at probably his highest level of confidence that we've seen him play in his NFL career right now. So again, we look forward to seeing Josh Allen continue to grow. This offensive line should hold up pretty well against a Baltimore Ravens defensive front line that isn't that great. But we'll see what happens on Sunday. But again, we're talking about 4 games here. Do we have a chance to win the AFC East? You look at these 4 games remaining against Baltimore, against Pittsburgh in primetime now, against New England, and against the New York, New Jersey Jets. And we would need, I feel like, to be honest with everybody, I feel like we would need to go 4-0 to have a chance to win the AFC East. That means beating Baltimore, beating New England, beating Pittsburgh, and then, of course, beating the New York, New Jersey Jets the last game of the season. And then we still need Baltimore to lose another game. If we beat New England, we have a tie record with them. But as I'm looking it up, I've realized that the third tiebreaker when it comes to divisions is record against similar teams, something like that, and New England has that edge right now. Unfortunately, I don't understand how it all works. I think it's because we lost to Cleveland, who has a worse record than the Ravens, who and Houston. Well, we didn't play Houston, but the Ravens, who New England lost to. So I think that has something to do with it as well. But we need New England to lose to Kansas City. That's our best chance this week. And then we beat them week 16. And again, maybe Miami can pull off an upset week 17. We always know that Miami normally gives New England trouble at least one game a season. We know that Brian Flores, even though we don't like to admit it, has those Dolphins playing pretty well. They just beat an Eagles team that's 5-7. Not great, not good really, but better than a lot of people thought they'd be better than the Miami Dolphins. Miami beat them, so we're gonna see what happens. Let's go beat those Ravens, says Rick Absolutely, yeah, that's what we need to do. That's where it starts. That's where we need to focus right now is on the Baltimore Ravens. Hopefully, again, this team, it's Monday now. Check out the film today, have a little bit of a walk through, and it's back to normal. Tuesday, we're going to go into the weight room. We're going to start practicing. We're going to see who's limited in practice, guys, who's on the field, who might not be on the field. We know that Ty and Seki more than likely still won't be on the field here. We know that Robert Foster, even though he played in Thursday's game, was still nursing a hamstring injury. So what's going to happen? We saw a couple players go out in Thursday's game as well. So we'll check out the status of them, but it's nice to have a mini bye week here going into that Baltimore Ravens game. Big test for entire team. See how they stack up. What's the forecast against Snarl? First of all, thank you for joining me on BILL-ievers Talk. Again, guys, if you haven't hit that like button, make sure you hit that like button. But the forecast for Sunday's game as of right now, and it's almost a week away, so can you trust the weatherman? No, of course not. 45 degrees with 17-mile-per-hour winds. Chance of precipitation currently listed at 20%. So it's not looking like it's going to be a snow game, anything like that, but it's going to be fun to watch. Crowd will matter in December at Ralph Wilson Stadium. Yeah, it's going to be rocking right now, right? It's going to be rocking now. I imagine some Baltimore fans are going to make that trip up. We saw that Eagles game. I was at the Eagles game. We saw a big Philadelphia Eagles presence there. I expect to see something similar in the Baltimore Ravens fan base. Now, they don't travel as well, or at least historically, they don't travel as well as an Eagles fan base, but historically, they don't have as good a team as they have this year to watch, so it's going to be fun. Yeah, they lie on Mondays. It'll be a blizzard, said Snarl. I think a blizzard would be huge for the Buffalo Bills. I think that will help us out. It either has to be a blizzard or it has to be clear conditions. I think if it's something like it was Sunday, that favors the Baltimore Ravens a little bit. Buffalo is running with the big dogs now. Yeah, and we're going to see how they can run with them, right? We know that they're flexed to prime time now. The NFL is beginning to notice this young team. And again, guys, remember, I always tell you guys to remember that we are ahead of schedule. If you think about the salary cap going into next season, if you watched Greg from Cover One, he did talk about some of the re-signings we have to make, which limits that cap space, but we're still ahead of schedule. I believe truly that we're ahead of schedule. I thought, again, finishing anything above 500 would be good for this season. Finishing 11-5 would, I think, be above expectations. That's where I had us finishing, but that was more the optimistic Buffalo Bills fan in me. And now that we're going to get there, again, we have to only finish 2-2 the rest of the way to go 11-5. Now that looks like we're going to get to 11-5. I'm really happy, or better this season. Again, if we go 3-1, like we have the first three quarters and the last quarter, go 12-4. Pretty good record, pretty good fifth seed going into the playoffs, and give me a tough out for anybody. I don't care if it's the Chiefs, I don't care if it's the Titans, I don't care if it's the Texans. It's going to be a tough out to play this Buffalo Bills team. A year ahead of schedule, in my opinion, says down. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Ravens are tough in any weather. Baltimore isn't exactly Waikiki Beach, says that Jack Patrick. Yeah, but they don't get the snow like they do in Buffalo. Like I've said before, I live closer to Baltimore than I do to Buffalo, and they get weaker winters than we do, and it's not anything like it is up in Buffalo. They might struggle a little bit with the ice and things like that, sleet, but they don't get the snow like they do in Buffalo. Would be a no. The weather's as good as yours, Jack. Comes Scott Blakely. Yeah, no one can be that fortunate, man. Wonder whether he's sitting in as he's sitting there talking about snow. Have you ever seen snow? I'm not so sure about that. But I wanted to talk about the percent chance the Buffalo Bills have to make the playoffs. Everyone's talking, of course, about the Buffalo Bills making the playoffs. And so I checked a couple websites, and it's funny because on each website, it changes just a little bit. It varies where you go to. So I'm not sure where they get their algorithms from and things like that. Hopefully the wheels fall off the Patriots. One can hope, especially against Kansas City. Kansas City has a lot to fight for, too. Now that Houston beat the Patriots, Kansas City wants to try to get that 3 seed, or possibly, if the wheels fall off the Patriots, the 2 seed in the AFC. We're going to see what happens, but nothing is guaranteed right now, and that's kind of the fun of it, right? You figure Baltimore and New England are tied. I know that Buffalo is only a game back of New England, so that might play a factor in who wins the AFC East. You have Houston and Kansas City only 2 games back in the race for the 1 and 2 seeds, so nothing has been determined as of yet. Still a tough slate of games for New England, a couple tough games for Baltimore, including a game against the Bills, including a game against the Steelers. Steelers-Baltimore, always a tough matchup. Now, again, I think Baltimore's going to eat against Hodges all day, but you know that Pittsburgh defense is solid as well, so it's going to be an interesting game. So some tough matchups coming up for both teams. It's going to be a fun final month of the season. Let me know what you guys think of the final record for the Buffalo Bills, 11-5. 12-4. Maybe you think 10-6. Hopefully not. 10-6 might be a little iffy to make the playoffs as you look at certain playoff scenarios going down the stretch. But if you go to footballoutsiders.com, the Bills have a 93.5% chance to make the playoffs. Now, they only put the Bills at a little bit over of 2.5% chance to win the division. I think that's a little crazy. I think what we saw from New England this past Sunday proves that they're beatable. Not only beatable, that this offense just isn't all that good, and this defense might be a little overrated. You talk about Deshaun Watson throwing three touchdown passes, catching a touchdown pass in that game. They allowed 4 touchdown passes in one game. That matches what they allowed all season before that. So very interesting. King Cam comes in 11-5. Daniel comes in 12-4. Yeah, I think and 13-3 is definitely still on the table. It will take a lot, but it will take a lot. But we can do it. We've seen this team go to 9-3. No one expected that. So what if this team goes 4-0 over the stretch, goes 13-3? Then we possibly win that AFC East, possibly even getting a bye week. So we'll see what happens. Jack Patrick was born at Orchard Park, lived in East Aurora. Dad worked for Bethlehem Steel, Lackawanna. Then we moved to PA. That's where I'm at currently. Bill's always my team, and well aware of lake effect and nor'easters just plus my God. Very funny, Jack. Hey, enjoy it, man. Hey, if I was there, I'd be enjoying it too. Just take it. Enjoy it and enjoy the game on Sunday. And hopefully you're watching here on Believers Talk. Snarl would be disappointed. 11 sounds right. 12 would be great. Daniel comes in. Watson is good. Watson is really good. But Watson and Josh Allen's playing just as well as Deshaun Watson is, in my opinion, right now. Favorite teams in the NFC other than Baltimore or 49ers. Baltimore isn't in the NFC. 49ers are the only team, those two in the NFC. I don't have favorite teams other than the Buffalo Bills. I have Buffalo Bills and then whoever's playing a team that could hurt them and help the Buffalo Bills. Like, that's how I look at my fandom. Everything revolves around the Buffalo Bills. If I'm watching a game like Seattle, Minnesota tonight, I'm watching because I love good football and I want to see good football, and that's it. I'm not rooting for either team. I picked Minnesota to win, so I'll cheer for them because I picked them and I like being right. But other than that, I'm not a fan of any other team other than the Buffalo Bills and whoever can help the Buffalo Bills. And that includes Week 17 when the Dolphins play the New England Patriots. I'll be cheering for the Dolphins to pull off another miracle this would be in Foxborough, but a miracle in Foxborough, if you would, as well. Guys, 11 wins. It is 11-5, yeah, that'll be the record. Buffalo Bills or no one. Yeah, absolutely, Young King, absolutely. More than Vegas gave us. Yeah, Vegas only gave us 6 wins. I already cashed in on that, so I'm very excited about that. Again, I hope that if you are a betting person, you bet for the Buffalo Bills because they would have made you some money this year. I'm not sure how they're doing against the spread this year. I know when I bet them, they've done pretty good. So I know they beat Dallas' spread this past Thursday, so that was nice. Again, the spread for the Baltimore Ravens game started at 6.5, has already moved down to 5.5, which means bettors are betting hard on Buffalo early on. So maybe that's a sign of things to come. Maybe these bettors know something that Vegas does not, and Vegas has to adjust, and that's what they did. That's what they always do. So we'll see what happens this Sunday. But again, have plenty of opportunity to show this league what we're made of, show this league that we are for real. Whether it be a 5 seed, whether it be a 2 seed, whether it be the division, I think we can definitely make some noise in the playoffs. Maybe score more than 3 points, that's for sure. You get more confidence in Josh Allen, more confidence in this offensive line, more cohesiveness between Josh Allen and his wide receivers equals nothing but good things. You know that defense is going to be locked down, right? You know that defense is going to be on lockdown, so you don't have to worry about that. The only thing we have to worry about at the end of the season is if we keep our offensive and defensive coordinators. Vegas has sold the Bills short all year. Absolutely they have. Absolutely they have. And you look at that 5.5 spread and say maybe they're doing it again. Okay, final score prediction for me, Bills 13, Ravens 6. I think it's going to be something like that. In order for the Bills to win this game, it's going to have to be a defensive battle. Maybe only 1 or 2 touchdowns this whole game. I think I said in the collab something like 24-20. I think that's a little high. I don't even know what the over-under is right now, but I think that's going to be around the score. What you have, Jack Patrick, if the Buffalo Bills want to win this game, they're going to have to be a low-scoring game. Again, you look at the Buffalo Bills' last 3 games, they have averaged over 27.5 points per game, but this Baltimore team has averaged 35.3 points per game. So you're looking at teams that know how to score recently. Baltimore a little bit more, a touchdown more than the Buffalo Bills. But we're going to see what happens this Sunday. Again, guys, we're going to be right here on Bill-ievers Talk, giving you every single play, live play-by-play reaction right here on Bill-ievers Talk, also on Sportscast. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button. Guys, if you're in the chat room right now, hit that thumbs up button. Really helps out the channel. I really appreciate it. And leave a comment. If you're not watching this live, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And if you have an idea for a video that you want to see, let me know in the comment section as well about our Buffalo Bills. Be happy to do a video on any topic that you guys wish to see. I have a couple topic videos coming up here in the near future, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Not only that, you know that we're live, or we have a video posted every day of the work week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now that the schedule is back to every Saturday or Sunday, we have a game. You know that Monday we normally do our post-game video. Again, we did it this past Saturday since we had the game on Thursday, but now we're back on track. Monday we normally do a post-game. Tomorrow, expect to see an playoff picture video that I will post tomorrow afternoon. Wednesday, I give you my picks both against the spread and straight up. Thursday, we go live during halftime of Thursday Night Football. I give you my pregame video this week. It will be the pregame for the Buffalo Bills versus Baltimore Ravens. And then Friday, I update you on the injury report. Hopefully, that's a short video. If it happens at all, there was a week not too long ago where I didn't post a video because there were no injuries. And so that's always good to see. Hopefully, we can avoid the injury bug. Have done a pretty good job of avoiding the injury bug. See you, King Cam. Thanks for stopping by. And again, unless something happens, because you know I'll be breaking the breaking news for the Buffalo Bills right here as well. So you can check me out for breaking news. Check me out every single day of the work week. And then check me out this Sunday as the Buffalo Bills play the Baltimore Ravens for live play-by-play and reaction. Thanks a lot, Joe Nelson. Thank you, everyone, stopping by. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Our defense better keep their eyes glued and not get fooled by Lamar's RPO. I can't say enough. I can't say it enough. Hey, if we stop Lamar Jackson, if we stop this Baltimore Ravens offense, really gonna get people talking, right? Really gonna get people talking. And then 13-3 doesn't seem so far-fetched if we take the best offense in the league and shut them down. Because if you look at our 3 remaining games after that, not exactly great offenses, right? They played well recently. Some of them, New England's played well in garbage time, but not the greatest offenses coming up after that. So if we can stop this team, who knows what we can do the rest of the way. I look forward to watching it all with you, watching it all unfold this final month of the season with you guys. Young King comes in 13-3 Buffalo. It can actually happen. Scott Blakely, I appreciate you and all of you guys. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.